Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The Paris AI Action Summit. Sounds impressive, right? Global leaders, tech giants, all talking about the future of AI. But I gotta ask, is this summit actually going to do anything? Or is it just another talking shop, full of promises and short on action? That's what we're diving into today. Because honestly, the stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about the future of jobs, the balance of global power, and even the very fabric of our society. So, buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Okay, let's get the basics out of the way. The Paris AI Action Summit brought together representatives from governments, businesses, and research institutions to discuss the responsible development and deployment of AI. The big goals were to foster international cooperation, establish safety standards, and address the ethical implications of AI. France pledged over 100 billion euros to its AI sector, which is a huge investment. And there was a lot of buzz around the growing competition between the US and China in the AI space. But beneath the headlines, there's a lot more to unpack. And that's where things get interesting and potentially worrying. So, what could the summit achieve? Well, at best, it could lead to increased global collaboration and a common understanding of AI development. Think about standardized safety protocols, ethical guidelines, and data governance. That would be fantastic. And this is a big but, the summit could also result in increased fragmentation. Imagine different countries adopting conflicting standards. That would create a compliance nightmare for businesses and potentially stifle innovation in some regions. It's a real coin flip right now. The key question is, will countries prioritize collaboration or national interests? That's the million-dollar question, folks. One potentially positive outcome is the likely acceleration of AI safety research. The focus on safe AI usage, especially in sensitive areas like healthcare, will hopefully stimulate increased investment and collaboration. We're talking about things like explainable AI, adversarial robustness, and methods for detecting and mitigating bias in AI systems. This is crucial, because let's be honest, nobody wants AI making life or death decisions without us understanding why it's making those choices. More research in this area is definitely a step in the right direction, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Now, let's talk about the ripple effects. France's massive investment in its AI sector is a game changer. This will likely attract further investment from both public and private sources, potentially creating new tech hubs and jobs across Europe. We might see a real resurgence of European tech power. But here's the thing. Will this investment be enough to compete with the established giants in the US and China? That remains to be seen. It's a bold move, but it's a necessary one if Europe wants to stay in the AI race. Speaking of competition, the summit highlighted the growing rivalry between the US and China in the AI space. The recognition of China's DeepSeek as a significant competitor to US-dominated AI is a wake-up call. This is going to intensify the race for AI supremacy. What does that mean for us? Well, it could lead to faster innovation as companies and countries strive to gain a competitive edge. But it also raises the stakes in terms of geopolitical tensions and potential conflicts. This isn't just about technology, it's about power. The summit could catalyze a shift in the global tech landscape, with Europe and China potentially gaining a stronger foothold in the AI market. This could lead to a more multipolar tech world, reducing the dominance of US tech giants and fostering greater diversity in AI development. That sounds good in theory, right? More competition, more innovation. But it also means a more complex and potentially unstable world. We need to be prepared for a future where power is more distributed and where the rules of the game are constantly changing. Let's switch gears and talk about the ethical implications. The high-profile nature of the summit will raise public awareness of the ethical and societal implications of AI. This could lead to more informed public discourse and demand for greater transparency and accountability in AI development and deployment. This is essential. We need to be having these conversations. We need to be demanding answers from the companies and governments that are shaping the future of AI. Because if we don't, we risk sleepwalking into a future we don't want. Of course, the rapid advancement of AI will continue to disrupt job markets, creating new opportunities in some areas while displacing workers in others. The summit's discussions on AI's impact on employment could lead to initiatives aimed at addressing skills gaps and supporting workforce transitions. But let's be real, are governments and businesses really prepared to deal with the potential for massive job displacement? We need concrete plans, not just empty promises. We need to invest in education and training programs that will help people adapt to the changing job market. Finally, let's talk about the big picture, geopolitics. The race for AI dominance will have significant geopolitical implications, shaping the balance of power between nations. Countries that successfully develop and deploy AI technologies will likely gain economic and strategic advantages, potentially leading to shifts in global influence. This is basically an AI arms race, and the stakes are incredibly high. The summit's discussions on AI access for developing nations could also impact global equity and development. Will AI be a tool for progress or a source of inequality? That's the fundamental question we need to be asking. Okay, let's shift to the potential downsides. The rapid development of AI, especially generative AI, carries significant technological risks. We're talking about a lack of transparency, cybersecurity vulnerabilities, and a potential over-reliance on a few dominant players like the US and China. The black box problem with AI models is particularly concerning. We need to understand how these systems are making decisions, otherwise, we're flying blind. And that's a recipe for disaster. From a business perspective, the intense competition in the AI space could lead to a winner-takes-all scenario, marginalizing smaller players and creating monopolies. There's also the risk of an AI bubble, where large investments don't yield the expected returns. A talent shortage and regulatory uncertainty could also hinder AI development. And let's not forget the geopolitical risks, like trade wars and export restrictions. The emergence of Chinese AI companies like DeepSeek that can launch services at a low cost presents a competitive threat to established players. It's a tough environment out there. But perhaps the most concerning risks are the ethical ones. AI systems can perpetuate and amplify existing biases, leading to discriminatory outcomes. The lack of transparency and accountability in some AI systems undermines trust. Job displacement, privacy violations, and the potential for misinformation and manipulation are all serious threats. And let's not forget the potential for the weaponization of AI, which raises profound ethical questions. We need to be incredibly careful about how we develop and deploy AI, otherwise, we risk creating a dystopian future. Speaking of DeepSeek, this company is a major player to watch. They're coming out of nowhere with incredibly powerful AI models at a fraction of the cost. This is a potential game changer, folks. It throws a wrench into the established order and forces everyone else to rethink their strategies. Are Western companies ready for this level of competition? I'm not so sure. This is a real David versus Goliath situation, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. So, let's bring it all together. The Paris AI Action Summit was a great opportunity to discuss the future of AI. But the real question is whether it will lead to meaningful action. There's a lot of potential for both positive and negative outcomes. Increased collaboration, accelerated safety research, and a more multipolar tech world are all possible. But so are fragmentation, job displacement, ethical violations, and geopolitical tensions. The key to navigating this complex landscape is to be informed, to be vigilant, and to demand accountability from the people shaping the future of AI. Don't just take their word for it. Do your research, ask questions, and make your voice heard. Because the future of AI is not just in the hands of governments and corporations, it's in our hands too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.